Hey guys, I hope you guys are having a great Monday so far. I'm excited. It's going to be a big week for me. I'm actually heading down to Texas, celebrate with a bunch of people, a bunch of like-minded people. We're going to get together and we're going to celebrate some big changes. Lots of good things coming. Hopefully you guys see it. Hopefully it inspires some people, motivates some people, and we can start taking off in this area. But one thing that, and you'll learn more about that throughout the week, but one thing that I want to share with you guys is I just watched a video, and this video is pretty amazing. It's by a guy, his name is Darren Hardy. I'm not sure if you ever heard of him. He wrote a book called The Compound Effect. He's actually also a publisher of Success Magazine, which has been around for a long time, and it has stories and interviews and articles with some of the most successful people in the world, and has for a long time. And what Darren Hardy talks about is he talks about, in the beginning he says, I've worked with Jim Rohn and Steve Jobs and Warren Buffett, and so you can essentially consider those guys standing up there on stage with him while he's giving that presentation. And what he says is he studied and analyzed what these guys have done over the years. And one thing that he found is that too many people get involved in way too many things, and they try to master everything. And what he found is that by doing that, you actually end up just kind of being mediocre at a bunch of things, right? So you're not really a shining star in anything. You're mediocre in a million things. Everybody tries to be a jack of all trades, but they're not world class in anything. So what Darren Hardy found, was that these ultra successful people are world class in one or two things. They're not great at everything. They might be terrible at golf, but they're world class in one or two things. And it's a thing called the lion syndrome. And what it means is you look at the Ringling Brothers Circus. I'm not getting into that debate whether it's humane or not, but how can a zookeeper keep this lion at bay with a bar stool? And what it is as he's holding that bar stool, as he's holding that out to that lion, the lion sees the bar stool and he sees the four ends of the bar stool, and that is overwhelming to the lion. It's not just a little zookeeper and a bar stool. He sees the four, and it becomes four enemies now that are trying to attack him, and that's overwhelming. And that's really what we do. That's what people do in their lives. They see the world as, a bar stool, and they see all their talents as a bar stool, and they try to master all these different things at one time, where really what they should do is focus on what they're good at. And, Gary Vaynerchuk says, triple down, quadruple down on what you're good at, and ultra focus on that one thing. In this society, we're so distracted by everything. There's so much going on that, people are extremely distracted. And I actually found that people are distracted every 3 minutes. They're distracted away from what they're doing, and then it takes them 11 minutes to get focused back onto what they were doing. So if it takes 3 minutes to get distracted and then 11 minutes to get back onto what you were doing to get focused, you're never really focused on anything. So he has little steps in place. He has a system in place where you do kind of 90-minute crunch sessions. You eliminate all distractions. You just do 90-minute crunch sessions or he calls them jam sessions, where you really focus on what you're doing, and then you have to take a break. Your brain has to recover. But the lion effect I thought was awesome because it makes a lot of sense. And I've been guilty of it too. We're so anxious. There's so much anxiety. Everybody's being prescribed anti-anxiety medicine, and people just don't know how to handle it anymore. People are, just overwhelmed. And that's the lion syndrome. It's this bar stool that people are looking at that is just too much for them. They can't handle it. And instead of being overwhelmed by all this stuff, if people just really focused on one or two things and just became world class at those one or two things, they would find themselves much more successful than if they tried to master everything. And part of being successful is being world class at the one or two things that you do, and then finding other people who are world class at the things that you are not good at, and outsourcing that to them, because your time is so valuable. If you can focus on the one or two things that you're naturally good at doing, you can make so much more money focusing on those things that you're your time, it's more cost efficient and cost effective for you to outsource those other things and pay to have somebody else do them, because they're probably better at it anyway, and they would be more efficient at doing it, and you can focus on what's really making you money or what you're really good at. So I just thought it was a pretty amazing video. He's got a couple of them on YouTube, but just look up Darren Hardy. One is called The Belief Systems of Successful People, and then another one, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a really good video. So just look him up. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of his videos. He's an excellent speaker, and he's a wealth of knowledge. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think a lot of people are kind of, I wouldn't say suffering from anxiety. I know some people are suffering from anxiety, but I think really a lot of people that I know, myself included sometimes, could really benefit from just focusing on, one or two things, as opposed to trying to take on everything and just being really good at everything. Just focus on one or two things. I think you would see better results by doing that.